Hello and welcome back. Welcome to my second podcast for the Mystery Shawl Crochet Along. But I kind of decided that I quite enjoyed the last one, and thank you. If you viewed my last video, amazing. I think as I count, I've had about 270 views, which is, I don't know, 20 times the last type of video that I did. And I've had so many new subscribers. So if you've subscribed, thank you. It makes me so happy. So I know it's such a tiny thing, and it's obviously not going to go viral or anything like that. I'm not stupid. But just to have so many people out there who have watched little old me whittering on about crochet and then to subscribe to me, I think that's just fabulous. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been lovely. It's been so exciting just to see that sort of thing build up. Now, if you're not following me already on Instagram, then go down here in the thingamabob and there'll be links down there for my Instagram, because I try and post there every day. I also auto post to Facebook, so if you follow me on Facebook you'll get the same things as on Instagram, so you won't be missing out, and also on Twitter, and there's a new thing coming out, V. So anyway, I'm going to have a look at that and see if it's worth having a tag along on that one. Anyway, hello and welcome. So I thought that today that I might change it up a little bit, and I thought I might chat to you about a couple of shows that I went to recently. So some of you may or may not know, but Kate and I organised something called the Waltham Abbey Wool Show. Now, I don't know if that's going to come out. It's the wrong way round. I hope that's going to come out the right way round. Otherwise, I'll see if I can put a link or something in across here so that it looks the right way round, because that's a bit odd. Anyway, it's the Waltham Abbey Wool Show. If you go to the website, it's walthamabbeywoolshow.co.uk. And we had our show in January, 21st of January, 43 exhibitors, and the wonderful Nathan, the Sockmatician, aka the Sockmatician, the wonderful nation. Hello, Nathan, if you're watching. This is exciting. I've never done this sort of thing before. I get why you do it. It's exciting when you get new people, isn't it? So, Waltham Abbey Wool Show, first wool show of the year. And Kate and I love going to wool shows. We just love it. We love the people. The people make it. Obviously, I'm a little yarn obsessed. I do kits for blankets. When I started designing, what I designed first of all was blanket kits, and I used the ubiquitous Starcraft Special. I still think there's not much that can beat it. It's a lovely soft acrylic yarn. It wears really well, and you can chuck it in the washing machine. And when you're giving your things away and making blankets, I think Starcraft is perfect. It has a fabulous colour range. It's over, it might be closer to 90 colours by now. So whatever takes your fancy in colour range, whether it be vintage or brights or pastels or steampunk or, you know, any theme that you like, I think it covers it. But I have to say, nothing gets me more excited than some beautiful, beautiful hand-dyed yarns, especially merino. I'm a bit of a merino gal. Now, some of you might have noticed I'm coming up to this shawl in a minute. Okay, this is shawl number 2. I'm going to come there in a minute. Well, maybe 10. I'm going to tell you some of the other things that I've been doing. So, a group of us from the Heart Stitch and Bitch went up to Unravel. I drove. I went up to Ware, picked them all up. We drove down to Farnham Maltings. We had a fabulous day. We got there about 9:30 and we left about 5:30, which is maybe half an hour after the show finished. But that's because we've got friends. We've got friends there, so, you know, we chatted with them as well. I am terrible because I kind of go around these shows and I often don't actually pick what I want until right at the end. I know. Spend the whole day going around the show and wait until the last half an hour to make my purchases. Now, there was an exception. And if you're watching on Instagram or Facebook, you would have seen me get excited. Some would say over the top, but you know, I don't care. I got to the age, over the top, don't care. So the first thing I purchased was this little beautiful, I'm going to take it off of my crochet at the moment because this is something that you shouldn't be seeing yet, although you might see a little peek in a minute. I know I'm a tease. So this was my very first purchase, and it was the lovely Rebecca from Rebecca's Room, and usually it is, oh, it's going out of focus. Come on, focus on it. Usually, sorry, it's not really focusing very well. It's a little cardigan. If you watched her Instagram, Rebecca's Room, lovely Rebecca from Rebecca's Room, you would have seen this as the unravel, special unravel one. Oh, I forgot to tell you about Rose. I'll come back to that. Anyway, so unravel, a gorgeous little stitch marker that was a special for unravel. And the lovely Rebecca, because I don't need knitting stitch markers, you know, the little circular ones. You can't use them in crochet. So she let me purchase that separately, which was lovely. So thank you ever so much, Rebecca. Again, I'll put the links in the thingy down there, okay? Oh no, I can't show you this yet. Not yet. So going back, this is me. My husband says I have a butterfly brain. I expect he's true. I get distracted. I get distracted by shiny things. So if we go back to the wool show, the Waltham Abbey wool show, there's a lovely lady called Rosie from Rosie's Moments, and as Rebecca did for Unravel, Rosie did for us at our Waltham Abbey wool show. So I'm just twisting this back in shape because it's popped out, but I will be unravelling it again, but it looks nice like this too. So this is from Rosie, and it is the Waltham Abbey colouring. It's the Waltham Abbey, and it's a beautiful merino. It's merino and nylon and stellina, hence the pretty little sparkles. Can you see the little sparkles just about tweaking there, little sparkles here and there, okay? And I love the way that she always puts lavender on. I love lavender. That's really nice. So this is Rosie's Moments, and if I take it out, honestly, these colours are just lovely, because look at this, look. Oh, so we've got grey all along one side, which I have to say I prefer to black. I've got black on the logo, but that's to make it stand out. You wouldn't put grey, no, it wouldn't look nice on a logo. However, on yarn, this grey is just lovely, and just look at all those colours underneath. Look, aren't they perfect? It just goes from one side to the other. Actually, I've just realised that if I do this, it does that. I just realised that. Oh, I was holding it up just now and I didn't realise that. Okay, so we can see really kind of how she's dyed it as well. So she's dyed this end all grey and then probably painted on the colours coming up here. Okay, and it's just lovely yarn. Thank you, Rosie. That is just a beautiful skein of yarn, and I have got to find something really special to make out of that. Maybe, I don't know, but maybe it'll be a pair of socks. I'm not sure. I think I'd like to make a little shawl of a shawlette of some sort. I'll see how it crochets. But that's from Rosie's Moments, who's one of our dear friends. Now, another friend, who's a newer friend, who did exhibit at Waltham Abbey, but was also at Unravel. Now, when you're running your own wool show, you kind of run around and you're kind of talking to everybody, but you don't really get a chance to browse or look around at what people have got. So for us, for Kate and I, Unravel is lovely because it's the first show that we can go and actually just enjoy ourselves and have a good look around. And so purchases were made. Now, I'm a merino girl. I'm really a merino girl. I love merino. But when you get colours like these, I'm going to show you this one. So this is beautiful river nets. Okay, and I don't know if you can see, there's lots of different colours there. Oh, that's focusing nicely. So it's sort of lots of tones of that purpley burgundy, but then you get these little splashes of yellow in there and little dark splashes as well. And it's just absolutely super duper. It's actually called Yarn Over Supernova. Okay, and it just is the gorgeous, most gorgeous. I've just realised my other shawl's in the picture. Can you see it? Okay, we're ignoring that for a moment. Okay, so this river knits is the most beautiful colourway, a Yarn Over Supernova, and it's 100% superwash Blueface Leicester. Not my favourite yarn. Other people don't realise. Hi Viv, I know you love BFL Blueface Leicester. Me, nah, take it or leave it. But I couldn't leave these colours. These colours are just amazing. Just amazing. Yellow's not my colour, but I just love purple and yellow together. So, and because it's just these little tiny splashes, I think it can work. So that's one skein of river knits. I'll put a link down there. But this is the second one. The second one is called Mermaid. Same base, superwash Blueface Leicester, 100 grams, 400 metres. And the colourway is Mermaid. I haven't undone this yet, but I think what they do with this... Now, bearing in mind... Now, I think it's Becky, dyes this on a riverboat. On a narrowboat. River knits. They're on a narrowboat. That's where they live. They don't have anywhere else. They have yarn curtains when they're drying. I have no idea where they store it all. I don't know how she manages. It would be fascinating. And I think she said to me once that that's the question that they get asked the most, is how on earth do they manage to dye this yarn? Anyway, this is spectacular. Look at all the different colours in this. So I think this process is a process whereby you over dye lots of times in different colours to get this amazing, that's one end, and then this is the other end. And look at those, there's just so many just gorgeous colours. And the problem, of course, when you're dyeing like this is you could just take it too far and end up with brown. You could mix them all up and end up with brown, but no, you've got pinks and purples and blues and greens and just this absolute gorgeousness. Absolute gorgeousness. So I'm going to have a look at this and think about this because it's BFL and I'm not used to using BFL. So I'll have to find a project for those. Now, it might be that they'll go together. I know, two different speckly things. But I'm quite good at that. So, could go together, might have to go apart. Don't know, but they are absolutely super, super colourway. Now, the other thing that I got to unravel, and this is a bit cheeky. So this is yarn from Mint Bee. Oh, sorry, before I go any further, here we go. This is a lovely project bag. This was when Jess was starting out, and this is lasting, very well made, you see, very well made, doesn't fall apart at all. I think this is a boo-boo bag. It's got a ring here, and you poke that through, and then you can hold it on your wrist whilst you crochet. See, fab. Okay, so in my boo-boo bag, I have this gorgeousness, which is Mint Bee yarns. Now, Mint Bee is run by my friend Marie, and she specialises in luxury bases, and these are definitely luxury. They are so soft. They are so soft, and they are gorgeous to work with. Now, this colourway is called Cadbury, and I think you can see it's this gorgeous colour of purple, purpley blue, and it just has sort of these little hints of pink. It looks a bit like, you know, like when you used to have foil. I know, when you used to have proper purple foil wrappers, it kind of looks like that because it's got that sort of tonal range on it of the purples. Now, she told me that this isn't actually purple that she dyes it with. So she dyes it on neon pink and then a blue on top. But it is absolutely gorgeous. I'm hoping that this is a repeatable, Marie, because this is lovely. And then the other thing I bought, now you noticed I've caked it up. It's not in a skein anymore. I needed to use it. I was so excited when I got this one. It is absolutely beautiful. And that's the bell. I was just getting going then, wasn't I? Ring at the bell. Wasn't even for me. Huh. Okay, so gorgeous, gorgeous Cadbury. And then also from Mint Bee is this beautiful colourway. I'm just making sure that I don't undo things now. This gorgeous colourway, and this is called Ella. And it has some of that purple in it. Now, interestingly, Marie says this isn't the same colours of dye, but somehow, look at that, how they work together. Isn't that just super, super duper? The purple in this Ella colourway just goes so well. Now, these are slightly different bases. Now, normally I wouldn't do this, but I have noticed that with speckles and with the shawls and in knitting, there's been a bit of a turnaround on this, and people are using different yarns together. And so these two are Mint Bee, and it's Bee Opulent is the Cadbury one, Bee Opulent, and that is, well, let's see, 60% merino, my favourite, 20% silk, that's how that you get those nice intense colours, and 20% yak. I have no idea what the yak does, but it obviously works because it is absolutely beautifully soft. And the pinky one is Bee Scrumptious. Again, I'll put the links down below in the doobly, in the thingamie. Okay, 80% superwash merino and 20% silk. 365 meters, 366. So shortish, but that's Bee Scrumptious, and it is amazing to work with. And how she does it for the price, Marie, I don't know how you do it for the price, but it is lovely yarn. And those two colours have just been put together. Some of you may have just seen a little hint on the Instagram. And I'm going to do another little hint, but just the tiniest of hints, just so that you can see the two colours together, because I think they are amazing together. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm not going to show you anymore. That's shawl number 4. So that's February, March, April, May. May. So that's May's one. That's on the way. And I've got these lovely keepers. So I've got this. Oh, and I've got this other keeper. Keeping it hidden. I've got this other little keeper from Rebecca's room as well. Look. The cartoon fish. I just think that's so cute. So cute. Okay. So that was Unravel. Some lovely, lovely yarns. We had a wonderful day there. Thank you to the organisers for putting on a fantastic show. It must be such hard work. I mean, our Waltham Abbey Wool show is just one day, and you're there for 4 days because you have your setting up day on Thursday, and then you open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You must be exhausted at the end of it. Anyway, the Stitch and Bitch girls and I, we had a lovely pub dinner later on, and then we headed back home. Not the following day, the Sunday, but the Monday, I headed up to Birmingham. Birmingham? What's in Birmingham, I hear you ask. Well, maybe you didn't, but, you know, I like to think you did. What's in Birmingham? Well, in Birmingham, in February, there is a trade show. Now, the trade show is for people in the crafting business. So it's not necessarily for yarn, although there is a lot of yarn there. There's also paper crafts and different things like that. So Desi's just come in and is meowing. Hear that? That's Desi. Come on then. Come up here. Gonna come up here. Oh, no you're not. Okay. Maybe she will later. Anyway, so Stitches is a fantastic... Come here. Come here and say hello. Oh, hello. There we go. Shh. Look, this is my beautiful Desi. Look at her. Oh, you gonna look at the camera? Yeah. Not really happy, is she? Okay, so Stitches is a fantastic show in Birmingham. I said that already, didn't I? Sorry. So I met up with the Rowan rep there, and she is a lovely lady that I took to Tunisian crochet a couple of weeks back. And we said, oh, well, obviously I'll see you in Birmingham, see you at Stitches. Yes, she said. When I got there, I did this weird thing. I put in an order. Now, she wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting it. Anyway, Aussie, here we go. So it came this week and I've just unboxed it. It's in the front of me here. I've just unboxed it. And we have some merino. And I'm going to be selling this on my website, but as packs of 4 together. Possibly 5, because I've just realised the meterage might be a weeny bit small. Or I might adapt the patterns. We'll see. So I have, well, we have to have some neutrals, don't we? I know, I hate neutrals. Well, I can't say I hate neutrals because they do balance things, but I'm not overly keen on neutrals. So we have cream and we have this neutral, which is different for me, and it's called feather. I would say it's kind of a mushroom colour. Okay, so we've got those two. We've also got this one here, which is called mallard, because it's a bit like the duck, mallard ducks. So we've got those 3, and I think those 3 actually look really nice together. But then we've also got a pale colour, pale mauvey colour. Let me see what that's called. That is called lilac. We've got lilac and dewberry, and and wine. So we've got these 3. Let me just get these 3 together. Just pulled out half of something. So we have these 3 and these 3. So as you can see, I think any combination of these colours would look rather lovely together. I'm thinking those are quite nice, those are quite nice, these are quite nice. I think there's lots of different ways that I can combine these to make some interesting little kits to sell. Now the retail price of this is £5.75 a ball, but I'll probably retail it for a little bit less because I'll be doing it in a kit form for the shawls, but you could use it for anything else. But I'm going to do it for my shawls, and when I sell the kit later it will have the pattern in it, but that won't be until August. So I will be selling these kind of as packs for the shawl, but without the pattern, because you have to subscribe to the Mystery Shawl Crochet Along. Okay, so that's beautiful soft 4-ply merino, 50-gram balls, and there's 165 meters, which isn't very long. 16, 32, 32, 320, 330 meters. So that's not as long as hand dyes are usually a lot longer. A lot longer. Are you coming up? Okay. And the other thing that I bought is some 4-ply cotton. Some 4-ply cotton. And again, I will be putting these into kits for shawls, and nice plain colours. Desi's just gone in the box. She loves a box. So it's 50 grams and it's 175 meters. So in order to make up the length for a decent sized shawl, you'll probably need to have about 5 balls. Anyway, that's off the top of my head. I'm going to just show you these in the packet. So this is the cotton. It's Summerlight, and it's a soft cotton. So it's not mercerized. Mercerized cotton is very twisted and shiny. It's got a treatment on it to give you really good stitch definition, and this is softer, so it's nicer against your skin, I think. Anyway, so there's this lovely colour here. Dink, dink, dink. There. And then we've got, I think you'll see a theme with the colours, although it is because of Rowan colours in a way. There's this nice pale lilac-y colour. There's a stronger pink colour. And then I've got, similar to the mallard, but a tealy green and a greeny blue and then a blue as well. Okay, and I think they'll all look really nice together and in sort of different combinations. Anyway, now, shawl time. Here we go. Mystery shawl number 1. No. Mystery shawl number 2. So, this is Skein Queen, Gorgeous Crush and Squash. This colour here is Bumbleberry. This colour, Debbie didn't know what it was. That's because she does lots of things where she does not repeat the dye, does not repeat the dye base, so she wouldn't have remembered which. It may not even have had a name, is what she said. She may not even have had a name when she sold it. So, oh, my hair's going really static here. So, this one is in Bumbleberry and Mystery Yarn, and it works because some of the colours in the lighter shade are reflected in the darker one, and the darker one is kind of mottly and has the same sort of effect. So I think it really works in this colourway. I love purples anyway, although this is much more subtle than usual for me. So that's gorgeousness. That's Skein Queen gorgeousness there. And so this is one, and do you know what? I've been dying to wear this out in the wild, and now I can because I'm releasing it today, even though I'm doing this. Yeah, I know. It's not today, but it is today. So what Jess said was she thought this would be lovely in the winter. It's a lovely winter shade, and then maybe you could wear this one in the summer because it's so bright and shiny. I want to say shiny, it's not shiny. It's just bright colours and it's just vibrant and lovely. And again, I think this colourway works because if we have a look in there, you can see in the creamier shade that we do have lots of little pink splodges, and then weirdly we have dark splodges in this one. Now this is Neon Red Lovebirds, and off the top of my head I've forgotten, but it is in the information what colour this is. But I think it works because you have that pink reflected into the other shade. I think when you've got colours going from both shades that are in both shades, I think they work together really well that way. It's a lovely fabric. It's lovely and drapey. You can see how lovely and drapey this shawl comes out as. Okay, it's a sort of, and it can scrunch up quite small in your bag. Well, reasonably small. It's 200 grams after all, but it's just lovely and squishy. It's a lovely open thing. And as Jess said, she thinks this one is actually easier than the first one. It's bigger, but it's easier because basically there's 2 rows to remember. It does change slightly in the middle and it changes at this end, but because between the stripes it's slightly different. But it's easy enough for a stitch night. It's the sort of thing you can take along to a stitch night, and if you're doing a row of trebles, you just keep doing your row of trebles, and if you're doing your doubles, you're just doing a row of doubles. So it's not a difficult shawl, it's quite an easy shawl, but it just has this lovely gorgeousness, this softness, this drape. It's very open when you block it. Using a 5mm, yes, using a 5mm hook. 5! But that way, loose though it is, and if you're a really loose crocheter, do check your gauge a little because you don't want it to be so open it's like a mesh. But it is more mesh-like than you would imagine. Okay, it's a bit more mesh-like. So you can see that you can actually see my arm through that. There is a mesh-like thing. But that's what gives it its drape. That's what makes it feel so lovely and soft and drapey. You can see my fingers through there. But that's because we're using a 5mm hook. Now, if you wanted to have it a bit denser, you didn't want it as open, you didn't want it as big as this, then of course use a smaller hook. That doesn't matter. But just be careful that when you do your swatch that it's not going to lose that nice softness and drapiness, because that's really important in a shawl. And that's the only way of getting that is by going bigger hooked. Anyway, that's this beautiful shawl. That's Mystery Shawl number 2, and its name is Perranporth. Perranporth is a lovely beach in Cornwall that my husband and my son and I do frequent quite a lot when we go down to Cornwall. It's a lovely long expanse of beach, and I named this shawl that because the fadey bits kind of remind me of, when the water comes in on a long beach and it goes over those ripply bits, where the tide's gone out, you have like little ridges in the sand, and then when the tide's coming in, and it kind of ripples over that. And I think these fadey bits sort of reminded me of the water rippling over the sand a little bit. I know. I think that's it. So you've had about 24 minutes of me waffling on, but I hope you enjoy this second mystery shawl, and looking forward to the third one. Clues will be released 2 weeks before the 1st of April, and I'm looking forward. Haven't got this right yet, have I? I'm looking forward to releasing it, but of course when I release this podcast I release the pattern at the same time. So happy crocheting. Do keep in contact with me on Ravelry, links down there. If you haven't signed on for the Shawl Crochet Along, I would love it if you did. This is only the second shawl out of 6, and as you can see, there's some really exciting things coming up. Really exciting. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I love crochet. I love it. I love it. I love meeting yarny people. I love going to shows. I love teaching people, and I just want you to be as hooked on crochet, I know, as hooked on crochet as I am. Until next time, cheerio.